Oh, hi guys. I want to welcome you to week 5 of our journey through the Gospels. And today we're in Matthew 23. And before we got started, I was thinking about making myself a cup of coffee, but I noticed the outside of the cup was a little bit dirty, and so I've been spending the last couple of minutes cleaning it all up, shining it all up, and it is nice and shiny on the outside of this. It's so shiny I can almost see my reflection in this cup. And I think it looks pretty good. And you know, if I made a cup of coffee and I offered it to you, you might take it and without even thinking about it. But let me show you the inside of this cup. Who's ready for a cup of coffee now? Why? It looks good on the outside. I mean, it's all shiny and clean on the outside. Why would you want a cup of coffee? Oh, it's dirty on the inside. Okay. Well, what's wrong with that? Yeah, it is pretty dirty. In Matthew 23, Jesus is again talking to the group called the Pharisees. And in the passage that we're going to talk about today, he's giving them 7 woes to the Pharisees, not good words to the Pharisees. And in particular, the passage we're going to look at is one where Jesus uses the metaphor of a cup to talk to the Pharisees. And let's look at it. It's in verse 25. Jesus says, "Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. Blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup and dish, and then the outside will also be clean." He says, the first thing he talks about the cup, he says, you clean the outside of the cup. Now the Pharisees, they were experts in the Old Testament law. I mean, they knew every law. They knew it forwards and backwards. They knew every little detail of the law. And they knew how they were supposed to dress. They knew how they were supposed to act. And they made sure that whenever they were around other people, that they obeyed every law. I mean, they wanted to make sure that the people saw them obeying the law. I mean, they would even make a big deal about it, about how loud and long their prayers were, and they wore big hats, and I mean, they made a big spectacle out of making it appear that they had it all together in their lives and that they were living a holy life. They made sure that they looked clean on the outside. And Jesus compares that to like the outside of my coffee cup. It looks really good on the outside. But Jesus says, inside of the cup, inside, he says, you are full of greed and self-indulgence. In other words, he says, the outside of the cup looks clean, but on the inside, it's dirty. And the cup, the inside of the cup represents their hearts. It represents their hearts. He says, on the outside, you guys look clean and you look righteous, but on the inside, he says, you are still dirty. Your hearts are still dirty. On the outside, by all outward appearances, it would appear that you're righteous and holy, but on the inside, he said, you're still dirty. And so Jesus says, first clean the inside of the cup, and then the outside also will be clean. In other words, Jesus is saying to him, guys, look, if your heart is clean, then eventually that is going to make its way out to your actions. The outside of you is going to be clean as well. If the inside is clean, then it'll eventually work its way to the outside. You know, as we allow the Holy Spirit to do His work in our hearts, to cleanse our hearts, that will eventually work its way to the outside, into our actions. Is God concerned with our actions? I mean, obviously, He is concerned with our actions, but He's more concerned with our hearts because He knows that if our hearts are clean, then our lives and our actions are going to follow that. And so my question to you as we close is this, what is the condition of your heart? Is your heart clean? Now, you may try to appear clean to others. I mean, when others are around, you may know how you're supposed to act. You may try to act holy. You may try to act righteous when other people are around. But when nobody else is around, you know that you're really a different person. You know that really your heart's not in it. You're just trying to put on a show for other people. But you know what? You can fool other people, but you can't fool God. The Pharisees could fool everybody else, but Jesus was saying to them, guys, I know that on the inside of the cup, you're still dirty. You look good on the outside, but on the inside, you're dirty. Nice and shiny on the outside, but on the inside, you're still dirty. So Jesus is concerned with our hearts. And if you say, Lord, search my heart, is there anything unclean in my heart? The Lord will reveal that to you, that you can ask the Lord to forgive you and ask the Lord to help you change that in your life, and He will help you do that. And He'll help you to grow in that area. And that's going to do it for today. Tomorrow we're going to be in Matthew 24, and I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.